Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mr. Moon Has Left the Building. I am Sam Palmer.
And I'm Eddie Chard. How you doing, Sam?
Well, very, very, very good today. Quarterfinalists again.
Which is an amazing feat in itself, isn't it?
Do you know, I was thinking of this today, and it's like it's so funny. Like we've been through it, and we've gone like, should the manager stay? Should the manager go? And I could, you know, I can't even bother to keep harping on about it now. But it's when you listen to every single pundit, like Jamie Carragher and things like that, and they say like these people are absolutely off their trolleys with what they wish for. Like when you look at what we've done, it is insane. 3 quarterfinals minimum in a row. So we've had a semi-final, final, and now quarters. And sadly, I think actually that first one we should have won it. We'd never have an easier chance of winning it. If you look at the semis of that year, what was it? Us and Frankfurt, Rangers, and I can't remember who Rangers played.
No, I can't remember who they beat in the semis.
Rangers in the final. It would have been, that was our year to do it, I think, sadly. But it's good though, isn't it?
Oh, mate, it's unbelievable. Like, you just got to think where we were before, the first season of getting in Europe. We were on the verge of getting relegated. So if you had asked any West Ham fan, you're going to be in Europe quarterfinals for the next 3 years, they would have done anything to have that.
And I'll be so gutted if it all ends like this year and we don't get it next year. Although, as a club, it might help us a little bit with a rebuild, with less games for a year. But maybe players like Bowen and that wouldn't be as happy if you haven't got Europe. So I love Europe. I really do love it.
Yeah. I mean, same. That's what I was actually really nervous before the game last night because I was just so desperate just to have one.
I wasn't for some reason. I knew we were going to win. I was so confident. Even when we lost 1-0, I actually thought, great game plan. We were okay. And then we started well. We'll go into I think, so our first game that we've been off for a week, but we've had 3 games in between. So we had Freiburg away. You went, didn't you?
Yeah, I went over there.
How was it?
I mean, it was a great. I've been telling everyone it was a great couple of days ruined by a game of football, basically. But no, I mean, it was a great trip. West Ham fans were brilliant, in and around the town, in the pubs and that, singing. So I sent you a little video of us singing your favourite chant for about half an hour non-stop, which was good fun. But yeah, it was just, the game ruined it a little bit because I just thought Freiburg was so poor. So to end up,
we didn't look in trouble, did we?
No, not at all. They didn't create anything, did they?
No, it wasn't. Mistake by Alvarez, wasn't it? A pass.
Yeah.
Bad pass. It was just one mistake, and then it kind of. And then who was it? Mavropanos as well.
I think it was Zuma.
Zuma. Sorry, it was Zuma. Yeah, just asleep, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So it's just a poor goal. I didn't feel like we were ever. Someone told me actually that they said they thought it was one of the best atmospheres they've ever seen from their fans.
I mean, it was one section of this that behind one of the goals, they were non-stop for 90 minutes. They were brilliant. But yeah, it doesn't top Frankfurt. You must remember Frankfurt.
I think that was the most insane thing I've ever seen.
That was unbelievable, Frankfurt, wasn't it?
There's no one that's ever deafened West Ham fans, and they killed us, didn't they?
Yeah, for the whole game. So I think it might be German fans. German fans must be, pretty good. Freiburg were good, but yeah, nowhere near Frankfurt.
And obviously the moan started on that game a little bit of like, why haven't we gone for them? Why aren't we? But I feel that it was, and yeah, you could have gone for it maybe, but we're away. I don't think a 1-0 loss was a terrible thing coming back. Not with our front 3 now. I think that's kind of, you look at it and think there is goals there. But there were a few moans, and then we went into Burnley. And see, I can see what Moyes gave quite a few players a chance against Burnley first half. And I suppose the performance was disgraceful the first half. It was no other words of it. But in the manager's defence, he's got a supposedly £45 million centre midfielder who everyone keeps saying needs game time until he's going to be good. I can only say he was laughable. In actual fact, what he did is he looks scared shitless now. His passing, when he passed it off the pitch, done it 3 times in a row, he just looks like he wants the world to swallow him up. And unfortunately, you can feel sorry for him up to a point. He's a professional footballer that's getting paid a lot of money to do a job, and he isn't capable of doing a job at the moment. And I'm going to go as far as I think he's one of the worst signings West Ham has ever made at this on current form.
And I'd have to agree with you.
Not that I think he's a bad player or could be a bad player or a bad person or anything like that. I think he seems like a lovely lad, but at some point he's got to wake up.
Yeah. I mean, he's been poor, isn't he? He hasn't had one good performance yet.
No. I don't even know if he's had one good 5 minutes yet.
Mate, yeah. I totally agree. I think he's been really poor. And his confidence looks shot to bits. But he's like you said, it's like he can't, I don't know, it's like he can't play. His position is
like,
all
have you ever seen Space Jam with Michael Jordan? When the aliens take all their power, they can't throw a ball, they don't know what's wrong with themselves. It's like that, but
that's what's happened.
It clearly has got a confidence problem. It's clearly none of us think it's an ability problem because we've seen him do it before. We've seen him play for England, and he was brilliant, like in some of them tours. He's English Player of the Year at one point. It's either a mentality problem, like a mental health problem or mentality, or just doesn't want it enough. And he hasn't got that hunger, maybe. I can't answer that. Only he can answer that. And
Yeah.
And he turns up every day and he's there. And so you could say he has got the hunger, but maybe we've seen it with a few players. Like when you think Lingard, another one. He's playing in South Korea now. Like there's clearly something wrong there that he's gone from there to there. Ravel Morrison. There is players that all of a sudden were great.
Yeah.
Callum Hudson-Odoi got a big contract to Chelsea. You never saw him again. Now he's at Forest, but we're seeing him for the first time in 5 years.
Yeah.
So I think there's clearly something wrong with Phillips. I can't put my finger on it, but like even in the Freiburg game, he came straight on and passed the ball straight off the pitch.
It's really odd, isn't it? Really odd. But I was a bit concerned when the way Pep didn't use him at all. Do you know what I mean? Even when Rodri was out, he wouldn't play him, which makes no sense whatsoever.
No, and the sense is he's seen him obviously training and doesn't fancy it, and seen him in games, and he was woeful in games for them.
Well, exactly, and so you can completely understand.
And you can probably hide it a little bit there because you can probably play a little 1-yard ball to get through it, like. And hide a little. What he looks like is, as I say, scared of making mistakes. So now he's doing as little as he can do. And I think, like, I don't know, I suppose it's the Roy Keane mentality, and how he would say it, is it? Like, listen, you've either got the balls to do it or not. Like, you can't just keep hiding. Like, and I actually think West Ham fans have been nicer to him than any other player.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I've noticed like you'd expect him, even if the quality on the ball wasn't there, you'd expect him to be charging around, flying into tackles, and you watch him sometimes, and he's like, he's in such an important position, and he's just strolling around.
Yeah,
and you think, what is that all about?
It's funny how we've kind of we like him. Like I was talking to people yesterday, I said obviously Moyes does not trust him at all. Like that's clearly apparent. He's hooked him at half-time twice now. Now, that's what the England manager was there the other day as well. So it kind of, but him and Ward-Prowse, to be fair, were abysmal. So we made a lot of changes for Burnley. Moyes couldn't take into account that his 2 centre midfielders were going to be abysmal, and then the 2 centre-backs were laughable. Both gave away a goal in the first half. Aguerd went to come out again, weak, went straight past him, scored, and then Mavropanos the own goal. But Mavropanos gave the ball away time and time again.
Yeah.
They were really, really poor, the pair of them. So the whole centre of our field was terrible. Then obviously second half came, we changed it, and then the moan is at the end, well, why don't we just go for it in games before? But we had one eye on Europe.
Of course we did. I think
we're Burnley to a 1-1 draw between European games, I think, is a great result.
Well, you put it this way: before the Brentford game, if you said to West Ham fans, you're going to get 2 wins and a draw out of your next 3 games, we'll see Everton away, Burnley at home, Brentford at home, you'd probably be like, I'll take that. And we didn't get it in the way that we thought we would, maybe a draw at Everton and to beat Burnley. But the point, we got the points. It's an opportunity missed, obviously, but we need to think about the European games. And he did. And in the end, we even nearly won it still, coming back from 2-0 down.
The decisions in that game were, again, we go back to VAR. It was, actually, Freiburg, the penalty at the end, it's a stonewall penalty. Look, it's not a penalty in what I would say is a penalty. In this day and age, it is a stonewall penalty. That it's come up and your arm is up here and it's touched your hand. And then, so the Freiburg one, they looked at it for so long, I don't know how it did not get given.
Well, they've told him basically to give a penalty. They've told him to
go and look at the monitor. You've made a mistake. And he still doesn't give it.
I couldn't believe it.
It was insane. But then the Burnley decisions, Ings' first one, not offside, with Antonio, who I've got to say, and we'll come to him in a minute, I thought was brilliant last night.
Antonio was.
Yeah, listen, he comes into some stick for some of his performances, and I think the frustrating part is that he can play like that. He was awesome last night. It was unplayable.
Made the difference.
And he played it so simple. He held it and laid it 2 yards. That's all he did most of the night. And he was absolute beast doing it.
Yeah.
I just don't know. It's when he starts thinking that he's a player and then starts taking people on, and that's when he gets into the problem. But he's such a good player when he does that. But yeah, Antonio comes on. Great to see Ings. Ings really come on and scored 2 goals. So we actually did beat Burnley. And Freiburg. So we've drawn with Freiburg, really.
Yeah.
So you've got points all over. You're undefeated. So I think we can feel really aggrieved that they didn't go our way. But to be honest with you, I come away from Burnley and I went, what a game! It was brilliant.
You can't not be entertained. And that second half, I mean, it was brilliant, wasn't it? Brilliant to watch. Chances galore. At both ends, like towards the end of the game as well, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Burnley had a few.
Yeah, Areola was great
really
again.
Entertaining.
I think we couldn't take into account how poor the players were going to play in that first half.
Yeah,
and then
exactly
rightly so, look, he hooked them at half-time. Look, because coming into Europe, he didn't want to hook them. He didn't want to put on Alvarez. He didn't want to put on all these different players. But he had to hook them. My only little moan, I think, with him is like this. Then we go to Freiburg last night, and I think we had this with Ings. When did Ings score recently? Was it Sheffield United? Oh no, he come on and played really well.
Yeah, did he come on or did he start that game? I can't
remember, but Johnson and him were really stand out in that
game. He was brilliant.
And then really my kind of moan with it is then he didn't appear for weeks again. And I think Freiburg last night, when we were up a little bit, and he gets on it right at the end, I think you could have kept him going a little bit and said, listen, you can be our super sub. He knows he's a sub now, but actually he could play a really important role for us at the end.
Yeah, I agree. He could have got 20 minutes last night, couldn't he? And he deserved it. I thought he was, when he came on the weekend, I thought he was brilliant. Everything he done was brilliant.
And even last night he set Soufal up, didn't he? Put the ball around the corner, set Soufal up. So
I quite like him. I do quite like him. I
Again,
just think
seems
he
a
needs.
great lad. I think, and West Ham fans seem to like him as well. He haven't seemed to. We played a wrong system for him. He's just
Yeah,
not that
yeah,
system. We should never
yeah.
have bought him. In actual fact, he should never have gone, and we should never have bought him. It wasn't a system that fits him at all.
No.
So that I think we all kind of know that. But I think so. Last night, I think we started. I think I thought we was just brilliant, all over the pitch. I thought Souček really set the tone from word go yesterday. He was. I think I texted on the group. I said Souček is like a man possessed, and then he heads to Paqueta for the opener as sort of I'd hit send, but he was just insane at that point. He was throwing his head in places that he should never have been throwing it. And I know he gets a lot of criticism for his passing, but recently he has got, I think, my most forward passer.
Yeah, yeah, I've noticed that.
I think he gets a bit of a bad rap for I think a season that he had a bit of a bad season.
Yeah, yeah,
Because he was at
and that's
Hammer of
it.
the Year.
Yeah,
Like we loved him. He hasn't really
yeah,
changed
yeah,
in
yeah.
what he does. He was played
Not
in a
really.
different position as well because of Deck. But I think he's back to. I think he's been a brilliant player for us.
That's what great signing. Really, really important what he does. And recently he's been great. I think last handful of games he has been one of our best players and one of our most important players in that team.
Yeah, I think so.
He was really good. It was nice to see Antonio, start, and it just shows that as well as Bowen does as a centre forward, it makes such a difference to have that big presence up top and then have Bowen on the wing as well.
I think Bowen on the wing is just. I think is his best position. I think when we have him up top, I think we lose him from the wing so bad.
Yeah, yeah. I was a bit worried whether Kudos enjoyed or would be as effective on the left. That was my only worry, but he's proving that it's not quite.
To be honest with you, I actually felt, even up until the second half, that his performances have dipped off a little bit. And I actually didn't even think, I think even the first half, I think he worked very hard and he was getting in tackles.
Really hard, didn't he?
In all them games, I think he worked really hard.
Yeah.
But I think that little X factor that he's got hadn't been seen. And I'm glad he got them goals and brilliant goals. Because he kept going. He just kept going and going and going until he scored. And then I thought his back end of the second half was so good that he had a great game.
I agree.
But I think there were some great performances yesterday. Freiburg were not a problem up front at all.
No,
they just kept putting that ball onto Zuma's head every single time. It was like he must have been delighted. I don't know if Fabianski actually made a couple of nice stops, like catches, but you don't think he had a real save to make.
No, I don't think he did. I thought they were poor, Freiburg, to be fair. They weren't great, but you can only beat what's in front of you. And everyone played well last night.
Yeah. Was it rocking over there last night?
Yeah, it was. It was just it's these European nights where we're under the not where we're under the cosh, but when we're behind, and the team needs the fans. That's when we sort of really turn up. And again, it was the same last night. So it was
an early kickoff last night as well, wasn't it? Did it affect people getting in there?
Well, I mean, it affected me. I was a little bit late myself, but the ground seemed to be full when I got there, and I was like 5 minutes late, and the ground was full. So yeah, it couldn't have affected people that much. But brilliant atmosphere, and no one's moaning about the stadium on nights like that. Do you know what I mean?
It looked fantastic, because obviously while I watched on the TV, it looked just so much fun.
Yeah,
it looked like everyone enjoyed it. I thought Soufal was brilliant. I thought Cresswell had a very good game. Lovely to see him score. The way he rolled it on the bottom of his foot before he hit it as well was really sort of like confident.
Yeah.
Like to do.
Yeah, I was really pleased for him. Really pleased for him.
Yeah, because we haven't seen him this year. He hasn't played. Emerson's been fantastic. But again, Emerson, we might be able to rest Emerson Sunday now.
Yeah.
to give him a little break, and Cress can come in, and it'd be nice. Cresswell again, brilliant servant, brilliant player.
Yeah.
Probably his last season with us, you'd say. Is this his 10th year with us?
I think it might be.
Do
Yeah, I think
players
it
not
might
get
be.
testimonials anymore?
I don't think they do anymore. You never hear of them, do you?
No.
It's not often
I
players are there
suppose
for
it was
10
all
years.
for a few quid because they weren't on big money then.
Yeah,
But
maybe that's what it
it was to
was.
get them their retirement money, really, wasn't it? That's what it
Yeah.
was kind of aimed at. But you'd think still you can do it and raise it all for charity, or
Yeah,
if
yeah,
the
yeah.
player doesn't. But not all these players get I can't, like Cresswell wouldn't have been on the big money of some people. So I think it was a shame, like when you look at that, like some of the players. Well,
Yeah.
Mark had a testimonial, didn't he? They gave Mark
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Who was this one against?
I don't remember.
I can't
I don't think
remember
I
either.
went for some reason.
Was it City?
That's not
No.
the one where Dean Ashton scored an overhead kick, is it? Was that the one?
Oh, yes, it was against West Ham 11. That's what it was, wasn't it? It was West Ham versus West Ham. It was.
Oh,
It's where all Sam Taylor and all that played, didn't they? Yeah, that was Mark's testimonial.
was it?
Yeah, so
Okay.
they all played in it. Rob Hatton saved the penalty.
Okay.
I think from Harewood. Yeah, I forget that was Mark's testimony because I'm thinking that he had a game at the end, but that was quite a few years before he finished. Well, yeah, Di Canio played, Ashton scored, Adrian scored from his own goal.
Yes.
That was quite a good
Yeah.
day. That was. But yeah, it's a shame they won't get a testimonial or anything, Chris. Like, and he'd probably just leave and that'll be it. But I wonder where he'll go now.
I know.
Been a great servant, but I think it probably is time. We've got to get younger people in this club.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's been a great servant. He's had a good career with us, but time catches up on you, and it is definitely time. I think he wants to leave now as well.
I think he did in the summer, didn't he?
Yeah. So so best for all parties if he finds a new club, gets a decent deal for his last contract or whatever, and then we get someone younger.
I think so. We've gone to any other standout performances you thought yesterday?
No, I thought Soufal was good again.
Yeah,
solid.
so did I.
I thought he was solid. I thought Alvarez again. He's so important to our team.
Yeah.
And I'm gutted that he got that yellow card.
It's going to be a big loss, and I think a lot of people are saying it was really naive by Moyes to keep him on the pitch.
Just a bit too long.
I agree, because ultimately, even if you don't rate Phillips, let's just say, you have got James Ward-Prowse there. James Ward-Prowse can come on and do a job there. Like with Souček goes back, Ward-Prowse comes in. It was naive. It's killed us going forward, because now maybe he has to trust Phillips.
Well, this is the thing.
It's a big game. These are we got Bayer Leverkusen. They're undefeated this year.
And it's away as well. Like, it's the game where you need Alvarez the most, and he's not going to be there. So
it's naive by him, though, isn't it? Like, as well. Like,
yeah, I thought it was it was just an idiot decision. It was a bit of an idiot decision.
Like that Phillips one when he got sent off.
Yeah,
the same sort of thing. It was just pointless. Didn't need to do it.
He just kind of flew in, didn't he? And he just didn't need to.
No,
he'd actually made a fantastic tackle a couple of seconds before that. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah,
we come sliding in, which was a brilliant tackle, and then that one unfortunately got booked for.
But we do definitely look a different team with him in it, and Burnley showed that as well.
Oh, yeah.
The minute he came on, it was a completely different game.
Yeah,
he's been a very good signing for us.
He's vital to the way we play. A bit worried about that Leverkusen away game. I think for that, it's just about staying in the game, isn't it? Staying in the tie.
We've basically drawn the worst side of the draw, haven't we?
Well, yeah. I mean, the worst side of the draw, definitely. Yeah, I said before, I'd probably take anyone but Liverpool. Obviously, thinking I don't want Bayer Leverkusen either. And it's just,
I think Liverpool have drawn a very good side. Atalanta, you'd fancy them. and then it's Benfica or Marseille in the
They're
semis.
laughing, aren't they?
You'd fancy all that to get to the final. Um,
There's a lot to be said about favourable draws. There's a lot of people talk about how the top teams get these favourable draws.
yeah. And ours
It's
will be
just
Leverkusen, Milan, or Roma. Which then, if you've beat any of them and you've gone through to the final, you'd be fancying that you could take on Liverpool as well.
oh yeah,
Because if you
definitely.
beat all that, then you. Do you think we've gone as far as we're going to go?
I think we're going to have to put in a couple of amazing performances to beat Leverkusen. They're unbeaten for so long, and
Yeah.
they're a really good side.
They're beating Bayern Munich recently.
That's what I mean. Obviously, I hope not. My head says we're going as far as we've gone as far as we can go, but you never know. I think if we can stay in the tie, maybe one goal behind over there,
we've got a chance.
We have definitely got a chance. We'll get Alvarez back for the second leg. We've definitely got a chance in that second leg. But yeah, it all depends how we do out there, I think. But
are you going to go?
Are
you going to go?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this could be the last one for a long while, so I'm definitely going to make the most of it. But I was just going to say, Karabag proved that you can get at them, and they was minutes away from beating them.
I know. Well, who were that team? I've never even seen that name.
Yeah, so they're from Azerbaijan. Not exactly the strongest league in the world. I mean, they drew at home, Karabag did, and then last night, 2-1 up with down to 10 men. And literally minutes away from going through. So it shows that, you put in some good performances and you've got a chance.
Well, some of the things we will have going in for our favour in some of these games is that some of these teams are going for the league.
Yes.
Leverkusen are going for the league. Liverpool are going for the league.
Yeah.
Not sure where Milan or Roma are sitting at the moment, but you'd think
I think Milan are up there.
Let's just have a look at Serie A.
That will definitely be a factor.
Let's have a look. Standings. Who's at the top? Yeah, Inter are top. Milan are second. They're quite a bit behind. Oh, Inter are actually absolutely killing that league. There's 75 points. Milan are second at 59.
Oh wow!
I don't think have you ever seen a dip like that?
No.
So it looks like they're probably not going to be in it for the league. It's done already.
And then Benfica. I think Benfica are going for the league as well.
16 points clear.
Who's that?
Inter Milan.
Are they?
16-point clear in the same games. How much? That's exactly the same games. Then Juventus are 1 point behind Milan. So they've got they've literally pissed that league.
Yeah.
So that doesn't go in favour. But they're still really wanting to get in Champions League, AC Milan. So that'll be going. But I think we've got a chance. I sadly think we've probably going to meet our match now, just because they're really good. They're Champions League teams now.
Yeah.
Roma, Milan, Liverpool, and Leverkusen. Even Marseille and Benfica in some ways as well. But them four especially are all Champions League teams.
It does make you make you wonder if we had strengthened in January, because essentially now we're 5 games away from the Champions League. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What? Yeah. You're very right. What? What do you think we should have strengthened on?
It's tricky because I guess at the time you'd probably said that, like, Zuma was fine.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's question marks over Aguerd, but we had Mavropanos as well. Ogbonna, when he come in, he done a decent job. So you probably would have been thinking a striker like we've needed for a while, and maybe a wide left midfielder. But now, I think when you look at it, we need at least one centre half, maybe 2.
Yeah.
And we probably need another holding midfielder because Calvin Phillips isn't up to it. Well, it doesn't.
Yeah, you're right. He's not been good. So.
And And if Alvarez gets injured, we look
Well,
terrible.
if we get any injury, we're in big trouble. Like Paqueta,
Yeah,
Alvarez, Bowen or Kudos,
yeah,
if they get injured, we're Zuma, because if you've got Mavropanos and Aguerd at the back. I saw Frank McAvenny said something this week. He said these two players at the back are absolute useless. He said,
oh, Frankie
he
Mac.
just said like they cannot defend to save their lives, and he is right. They are useless. And I saw another report that Gaird's not happy at the club and wants out, but I think that'll be just mutually beneficial just to get rid of him.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
he
definitely.
has not been good.
And I'm really trying to like Mavropanos because, like we've been saying, he's got all the attributes like height, strength. He's pretty quick. He looks as though he's really comfortable on the ball, but he makes some shocking decisions sometimes.
Who do you think's the better player out the two?
I would stick with Mavropanos at the minute because I just think
It's weird because I do
weak.
think Aguerd is a better player than Mavropanos.
He's a better he's a better. I think he's a better footballer.
Yeah.
But I just think in the Premier League, you need to have that stature and that strength. And I just think Aguerd's too weak. Gets bullied too often.
He does, doesn't he?
But neither of them are good enough, are they? So,
no.
You know.
Not on what we've seen so far.
No. So, I mean, to be fair, there are probably a few areas in the squad the squad is nowhere near big enough and good enough. But so we could have strengthened a few positions. But you know, it just makes you think. Obviously, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but you just think how close we've been in recent years to Champions League, either in the league or by winning the Europa League, and just a bit of real ambition. I know it's probably a bit tricky now with financial fair play, but we haven't been that far away, and we don't know when we're going to get this chance again.
If the Champions League goes to 5 teams this year, which apparently we gave it a really good shot in the arm yesterday by beating a German team.
Really?
Do we get an extra Europa Conference League? Does it go down to 8?
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I mean, I hope so. But
I like the Conference League. Got more chance of winning that one.
I'll take it every season.
Because this one's hard. All the Champions League teams come in this one.
Yeah, exactly.
It's much harder competition to win.
Yeah. How do you feel about Villa winning the Conference League this year?
I'd like to see it.
Would you?
Yeah, great. Like I'm all for British clubs winning it. If it was Spurs, I wouldn't want them to, but I'd like to see Villa win it. I like Villa.
I do like Villa, and I like their team this season. Even the manager, I like. But does it diminish at all what we achieved last season?
I think they're a very good side. I think what you're going to see is more British clubs start going for that because I've never understood, really. I've said this before. We're one of the only British teams that have really embraced Europa or conference. Like, when I think Spurs, they pulled out of a game in that Conference League. And they've won no trophies. So, when you look, it's like, why?
Yeah.
Like, thinking you're better than the competitions. But it's been brilliant. And I'm sure, and look, Spurs fans travel as well. I'm sure they would have loved going away.
Yeah, the Spurs fans I talk to, they'd say, I would take that all day long.
It was fun. It's so much fun, isn't it, going away? It makes me so gutted I don't live in Europe because, now I've just looked at Leverkusen. To go to both legs, it's like a 10-day trip. It costs a fortune. And I actually just realised I actually can't do the semi. So
really?
It's actually the day of my birthday as well. It's the 2nd of May, but I've planned a golf trip here. I've booked and paid for it as well, which would be good because I can watch it anyway. But to be honest, after Prague last year, I'm quite happy. I'm quite all right watching it on the TV. Yeah. I think Prague, the first year was like a big, I've done it all. If we got to the final, I'd definitely be there, especially in Dublin. It'd be brilliant. But I always fancied us to win the Europa last year. Like everyone we were going, this one I'm kind of not. Although Germany's such a great place to go in some places of it. This one's close to Hamburg as well, isn't it?
It's close to
Cologne,
Cologne,
and I think
Cologne,
Hamburg's not
and
far either.
Oh, really? I know it's quite close to Dortmund as well.
I was looking at. I might, dependent on the away result, I might just come for the home. I might,
Yeah,
because I could come in quick on that one. I could come in for a day and leave.
yeah.
Because it's just, I have to get switch my flight, go on again. It's just such a palaver for like a day for 90 minutes worth of football. It's such a long way. But I think I might actually have a look at that and actually maybe just go to the home.
Well, let's see how we get on out there. That might make your mind
I've
up
got
for
a
you.
fancy that we're going to do okay. Who have we got in between it? Because when is it? It's not till April, is it?
Yeah, April
Oh, haven't we got a break at the minute?
because there's the England games, isn't there?
I think there's a. Let's have a look. So we got Villa Sunday, which we'll get to in a second, and
Spurs
then
after that.
we got March 30th, Newcastle,
Oh, that's
then
it.
Tottenham, April 2nd, Wolves, April 6th, and then Leverkusen, either side of Fulham at home.
So we got Leverkusen after the Wolves game, or
After the Wolves game,
and what's that? Is that at home, that Wolves game?
away.
Mm.
We've got Spurs home, Wolves away, Leverkusen away, then Fulham home, Leverkusen home, and then at Palace after that. But we got some hard games coming. Our last four games is Liverpool, Chelsea, Luton, City.
Yeah.
So that could be a disastrous end if we need to go for it for the league.
Well, that's what I was going to say to you. Where should our priorities lie now? Obviously, you want to go through in the Europa League, but it's a tough game.
Yeah.
Should the priorities been trying to get into Europe again next year, which we're in position for at the minute? It's a tough balancing act, isn't it?
Yeah, look, there's one of them's going to have to give way. It's at one point. I think Moisey will definitely be going for Europa. I think he'll definitely go for it, and we might miss out on both. And then you're going to get the mumblings that he got it all wrong and things like that. Unfortunately, we haven't got the quality in the squad to go for both. Our backup isn't good enough. I was thinking, what has happened to that? The other clown, Cornet.
Oh, don't.
Do you even remember he plays for West Ham? I completely forget. It's like
the myth that is Maxwell Cornet. I don't know what's.
Is he injured or?
He's injured again now. Yeah, I think he might be just come back, but he's not fit. He's not fit enough to play.
Right.
But I don't know. It's a bit of a joke, isn't it?
Like how would you even get rid of him? You got to just probably tear his contract up, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because who on earth would buy him? Like you've got him. Ings is probably going to go. And then you've got Mavropanos, Agard, Ogbonna, Cresswell. There needs to be a serious move, but none of them players will generate any money.
No. Apparently Ben Johnson is looking as though he's leaving as well.
Again, okay.
Yeah.
But will he get 5 mil?
6 mil? He's out of contract, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's be out of contract, won't he?
Yeah.
So it could be another one, but you got to look at it. It's kind of bad business that we've not managed to get him tied up onto something to let him leave on a free. But that's where we need a lot of money to get this squad together. But it is exciting times, I think, at the minute. Villa Sunday. Are we at home, aren't we?
Yeah.
What do you think to that?
I think it'll be a really good game. Apparently, John McGinn's definitely suspended because he got sent off against Spurs. And apparently, Ollie Watkins hobbled off minutes after he scored last night.
Well, they had an amazing win yesterday, didn't they? They beat, what was it? What was the score? 3, 4?
4 in the end, yeah.
Yeah.
Pummeled Ajax.
Big win that. But you'd think that's probably taken a bit out of them as well.
You'd hope, yeah.
But it might be a bit of a poor game because of that. both teams have
Yeah.
been in Europe action.
I think there'd be some goals, and I really do think there'd be some goals on Sunday.
Don't
Don't know
fancy
which net they're
Zuma.
going to go in.
Yeah, Zuma
Huh?
and Mavropanos up against Watkins.
Yeah, let's hope he don't play, eh?
Yeah, I think that's
Your face.
yeah, because he is on fire at the minute.
Yeah, and he's scoring all types of goals as well. I
Yeah,
really like him.
he's been brilliant. Like, and actually, I saw that for England, like, really gives us something different to Kane. Yeah, it's a good thing. So we've got Euros in the summer. We'll switch a minute. Who would be your England? Who would be your England team?
Oh, good question.
Because there's a
I'll go
couple of
with
players I
Pickford.
probably wouldn't know, and I'm not as big on England, but it's like
No,
it's I know it's a big debate. I love it. I love England when there's tournament on, but I don't really watch it in between.
no. Yeah, that's understandable, I think. I'd go with Pickford. I don't think he's ever let. I don't think he's an amazing goalkeeper, but he's never let
Never let
England
England down.
down.
I think it's the same. I'd be, and I also think he's better
So
than
I'd just
Johnston and Pope.
yeah. So I'd leave that. Cole Walker right
Yeah,
back. I think Stones other centre half. Now this is a tricky one because do we go with again? Maguire hasn't really let England down.
but he never don't play anymore, does he?
Well, yeah, I think he has been playing for Man United, but he's injured at the minute. He has had a run in the team again, and he's been doing all right, I think.
Who would you
But
play left back?
See, I would play Shaw if he's fit.
Is he fit at the
I
moment?
quite like Luke Shaw. He's injured at the minute. He's always seems to
And
be injured.
Trippier hasn't had a great season this year.
No, he's reliable.
I see. I
'Cause
prefer Trippier to Shaw. I think I don't really rate Shaw that much.
No, what about Chilwell? I mean, I'm not his biggest fan.
I think
either,
he's a
but
good player, but yeah, he doesn't play anymore. So he's
no.
been injured his whole career, really, hasn't he?
So would you
I like
play?
this
Would you
Everton
play?
centre half as well, Braithwaite.
Oh, see. I think he will be an England regular very, very soon because he's left-sided as well.
His
And he
Stones left
looks
sided.
Stones is right. He's
He's
right-sided.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'd play Braithwaite and Stones. I think I'd be trying it now.
Yes, I'll try it now.
Yeah, why not? Give them a go. And then I think midfield you've got Deck. And then he plays a free, doesn't he? I'd only have one holding.
Would you?
And then I'd have
Depends who we're playing.
and then I'd have Bellingham and Foden, both in that middle with Deck. And then up front, I would have Kane, Saka, not Diafra Saka.
I was going to say.
And then left wing, who would you have there?
Who would I have left wing? See, I think I was thinking I'd be playing Foden out there.
Yeah, but I like him in the middle, Foden. But I wouldn't have him as a holding. I wouldn't have that double pivot.
No, you just have the one.
I'd just have Deck. He's good enough to do it on his own. And then I'd have Foden and Bellingham right in that middle, just causing chaos. Yeah.
Who on the left?
Well, there's Grealish.
Yeah, I think he's injured though at the minute. I mean,
Yeah.
he'd be fit for the summer, I think.
Oh,
there's
Cole Palmer,
Newcastle.
Gordon,
Yeah,
Maddison.
So Gordon plays on the left, doesn't he? I think he's had a brilliant season. To be fair,
had a good season.
Anthony Gordon.
He
deserved to go in these friendlies.
Yeah, I'd like us to see us change it up a bit.
Yeah.
I'm glad he didn't take Phillips because I think there would have been outcry if he'd have done that because he has been so bad. So I think that's right. Cool. Looking at his squad, I also wouldn't have took Rashford.
Wouldn't you?
No, I think he's been a waste of space for a long time.
Yeah, his form doesn't warrant it, does it? Really?
No, and I look at like some of the other players because you've got Ivan Toney. You've got some. I think I'd try 4-4-2 as well, or like
He's going for it.
Because I saw someone say this the other day, and I kind of agree with it. You could play Watkins up top with Kane just off him in like a free roll almost. And I know that's a Bellingham position there, and Foden. And I've got some problems with Southgate because there's so much talent in that front that you can't get them all in. But you could change it around a little bit and have if you had them two up front, Watkins and Kane, an awful lot of goals there. And Kane ultimately could be his best position.
Excuse me.
Because he's so good at coming deep.
Yeah. But I not a guarantee, but for this Brazil game, it would not surprise me at all if he's got Henderson and Rice as the double pivot, Bellingham, Foden out on the left, Saka on the right, Kane up front. That's what I reckon he'd play.
And I just don't understand, like, how can Henderson be in the side? The move to Ajax seems the most ridiculous thing in the world. He might as well just stay in Saudi Arabia earning a load of money because no one gives a damn that he's in Holland at Ajax today. Makes no difference to his England whatsoever. It's the maddest thing, but that's one I don't think should be playing for England. I really don't.
No.
I don't think it.
But I bet you, Southgate is very similar to Moyes. Actually, he is the international Moyes. He's quite safe. He's quite safe. It makes sure we don't lose rather than go for it. And it's been effective. Again, for England, it's been effective. You can't really complain.
It's funny, like people might say, okay, but I suppose maybe I'm a safe person because I don't think to be like amazing managers are international managers. Like you look Lionel Scaloni, Chris Coleman. They're not great, but they're good. They're good with the group, clearly.
Yeah.
I would love to see us have maybe Jose or someone like that to see in England, to see the difference. But then, look, we had Fabio Capello. So, and he'd done nothing.
Yeah.
It was poor, wasn't I? But yeah, I think, are you going to go to the Euros?
I've got I've got a couple of tickets for the England group games.
Oh, have you?
So I'm going to go out. Yeah, and then we'll see what happens after that. But
we seem to know Germany now. We've done a bit of Germany. So I done the World Cup in Germany. So it was one of the best experiences of my life. That World Cup in Germany.
Oh, really?
It was they'd done it so well. They literally the most accommodating people. That's what I can remember. They were so good, and you kind of thought there'd be a bit of all England, Germany, and things like that, but not from their side. They were absolutely brilliant. But it was a lovely country to go across as well.
Yeah.
And then the one after, you've got to come out here because it's the US.
Say that again. Oh, the next World Cup,
the 2026 is
was it US,
Mexico, Canada?
Yeah. That'd be good.
Brilliant to go and see some of the places.
Yeah, I definitely want to come out for that.
Be brilliant. I'm going to do it. That's definitely something I'm going to do. I'd like to follow England wherever they are, and just go and do it. And then like the finals.
That'd be perfect for you.
Because there is some in LA. There'll be some in LA. So we'll go and watch some in LA. Base here and then fly off to England. Although you say that, it's like, if it's in Miami, it's like a 6-hour flight. So, in New York. So you think because it's the same country, but it's not. It's as far as Europe as you'd go. Yeah, even like, you say Vegas is an hour, but that's close to us. But yeah, so we need Villa predictions.
Oh, cool. That's a tough one. I really don't know. I'm going to plump with a Desmond 2-2 draw.
Let me write this down.
2-2 I'm going to go for.
2-2. Okay.
Yeah.
We had, just looking back, Freiburg, you had 1-1. I had 1-0 to us. Burnley, you had 3-1. And I had 4-1. So we're really good at this at the moment.
Do I get points for being closer than you or no?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you were big goals. You were 2 goals closer. So let's got Villa. Aston Villa. You are going, Addy is going 2-2.
I do think Villa might nick it, to be fair, but I'm going to too.
Yeah, they're fighting for Champions League, aren't they?
Yeah,
I
good
am
side.
gonna go 2-1 West Ham.
Come on, you Irons.
I don't know. That's just blind loyalty, that is.
Well, I mean,
Because I
if he
really think
Moyes,
it's going to be probably Villa 4-0.
mate, if we play a similar team to what we played last night and go for it, we're going to give them a good game, and we could quite easily beat them 2-1.
Yeah, I
And they
don't
got
really fear many people in this league.
no,
We
they
beat
got dicked
Arsenal
4-0
twice.
last week.
You are?
They got dicked 4-0 last week, didn't they, by Spurs at home? So
Spurs are
they're
doing
not that
well, aren't
good.
they? They look like they're going to get that Champions League. I've got to say, as
Yeah,
much as I do hate Tottenham, I do love watching them now.
yeah,
Think
they're
they're a
enjoyable to watch.
very good side to watch. And I
Yeah,
suppose it is the flip side of the Moyes out argument. That they had exactly that with Conte, and
yeah,
the same man has come in and changed it, and they're playing a different way of football. So I do get it, and they're not a
yeah.
club that overly spends like on players as well. And Van de Ven looks some player. He's
Good,
so
isn't he?
quick, isn't he? He's injured again though, isn't he?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the other guy, I don't know if he's left or right back, Udogi,
He's a left back.
left
Yeah,
back, but I think he's a
yeah.
brilliant player.
He's some player as well, isn't he? Only young
Porro,
as well.
they got some
Got some
really. Is Porro right back?
He's the right back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
good
Very
player.
good players. And then you
Yeah,
just
annoying,
they
isn't it?
look a good side, don't they? Especially they lost Kane,
Yeah,
but they seem to be playing very well. A bit of hit and miss some weeks, but they're fifth at the moment, aren't they? But
yeah, yeah. I think that
they're playing Saturday night football, aren't they?
they
Tottenham, I think
Fulham.
they're
I
playing
think they got
Fulham. Yeah,
Fulham.
Fulham have been
Yeah.
some surprise package this year.
Well, there was this debate on whether Marco what's his name? Marco Silva. Whether he would be in contention for the West Ham job or not, and thoughts on that. And when you think about it, I mean, I think it was the only job that he didn't do so well on was the Everton job,
which
wasn't
no
it?
one's done well on.
No, but apart from that, I think he's done pretty well everywhere he's gone. And the job he's done with Fulham, considering they're a team that come up, haven't really spent anything, they're now quite a solid, mid-table Premier League side,
Yeah,
and they
they're
play quite nice
12th.
football.
I'm just looking here now. They're 12th. They're 4 points behind Chelsea. But they feel like they've been much better than that.
Yeah, yeah,
They tonked us 5-0, didn't they?
yeah.
When you look at Chelsea, I know they get results. They look like they're doing well in some parts. But they're 11th in the league.
No.
And this is what I say as well. Like, every West Ham fan would take Poch and Eddie Howe. Both of them are below us.
This is what I mean.
They both would. Like, Poch, you'd say, would be brilliant manager, etc. Every single West Ham fan would say yes. They've also spent $1 billion. Like,
This is the thing.
Eddie Howe
and
spent a lot of money up there.
Yeah, he has, yeah.
And they've had one season in Europe. And they seem to get let off with, oh yeah, we had the old Champions League and the squad was a bit thin and things like that. Well, like, we've had it for three years. And you play more games in Europa than you do Champions League, don't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, I don't get why they're deemed as the great managers. And the other one, who I think West Ham fans will take, is Thomas Frank.
Another one who's
And they're
struggling
15th in the league.
Yeah.
Like, they're 5 points off of relegation. So, yeah, they've had a bit of injuries, things like that, but
I just don't get that, because it seems like hatred for Moyes, doesn't it?
it is hatred now from some people.
It's hatred for him, and I just don't get it.
And I think you're a bit like me, I think. We get pulled into it. Because I actually don't believe it. I really love him, actually. I actually realised this the other day. I love our club these last few years. And I mean,
it's been
the
amazing.
whole club, from the ownership to the fan base to to commercially, to the Instagram, to the players. I love it. There's been an improvement in every part of it. And I think he's a massive part of that. Because I really do think we have come forward as a club. And as I say, the whole club. You think when we moved into I think Mark Noble said it was a complete circus. When he was like, we had the bands on the pitch, like all of that. We was a complete embarrassment of a club. But I just don't know what we have to do now. Like where do we get happy? Because they won't be happy until they get him out, and then it will start again with the next person.
Yeah,
I just don't get it, and I also would love to know when West Ham played this brand of football.
What, the old West Ham way?
When did they play it?
I mean, I don't think we've ever seen it.
Was Bobby Moore's team even that? Was it like, it wasn't Brazil, was it? But it's like this. Allardyce said it, didn't he? What is the West Ham way? Losing. That was the best comment I think anyone has ever made, because that is such a brilliant comment, isn't it? Because it's like, go on and on and on about it, like it's like we were Liverpool or United in the 90s. Like, one fuck all. And that's where it is. What do we want? And I look at it, and I've got everything I want. I'm really happy. I get pulled with it.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm a realist now, and I look and go, we don't spend the money that other clubs do, or can't spend the money other clubs do. We haven't got a training facility as other clubs have. So are we overachieving? Yeah, we probably are. When you look at our squad, is it better than Man United's, Chelsea's, Newcastle's? No. So we're doing all right. And just enjoy it. Like that, like I'm trying to view it in a different way. The Burnley game, I could have viewed it as that was absolutely appalling. But I actually viewed it as, cool, what a laugh that was. Didn't lose. That was all right. Entertaining at the end. And that was it. And I think when you look at it that way, you change it a little bit. And I also took it, and I think that's what people forget. We had Europe in midweek in Freiburg. We've had to fly back for a game on the Sunday. There's tiredness. There's all these things that come into it, and Burnley are fighting for their lives. The weirdest thing in the world was we let them play out from the back. Was actually the weirdest. They are absolutely awful at playing out of the back, and they look good against us because we let them play out from the back. That was the most crazy thing I've ever seen, that the tactic wasn't to just stop them doing that because they've lost a goal every week from it. But yeah, I think I'm happy. If we go out in the quarterfinals and we don't make Europe, I'm still happy, I think.
It's been a great run, and much more than me and you both expected. And yeah, it's been a great ride. Obviously you'd want it to continue, but it has been great, and that's come from Moyes and his team that he's put together, and the way that we played. So, for me, I'm with you. I'm happy. I'm happy with the team.
Something else I thought of the other day. We've also lost a big coach every year.
I know,
we lost Alan Irvine, the original, Stuart Pearce, Nevin.
Yeah. Paul Nevin, yeah.
So we lost big backroom members of backroom staff. Oh, and then who was the guy? Mark Warburton.
Yeah, Warburton went last season, didn't he?
Mark Warburton. So that's quite hard to keep bringing in new staff, I think, as well. Maybe they weren't happy and things like that. I think from what happens, what I hear is Moyes a bit of a workaholic and works them sort of like dogs.
A bit of a control freak as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, and look, but it is kind of working for us. The players seem happy to play for him.
They do, yeah.
That's what I think. When you start seeing the players not happy, but there was so I'm hearing two different things. I'm hearing it from one of my groups that, then we'll finish on this, but Paqueta and Moyes might have had a dust up after the game. I don't know how real this report is, but it says in it came to blows. Now, Moyes hasn't got any bruises on his face today, and I would think if Paqueta's hitting an old man, you're probably going to have a few bruises.
What after the game?
Now, I'm
'Cause I
hearing
mean,
conflicting reports. I took it as Paqueta did not want to be subbed, and he was absolutely fuming. Like, because he on the TV, he was absolutely fuming. He walked 20 yards around Moyes, didn't shake James Ward-Prowse's hand, sat down, he threw his shin pads, and he was fuming. And Danny Ings even come to him, and Aguirre had come to him and said, "All right," and he was like that. I'm hearing a flip side argument that Paqueta wanted to be taken off at half time and wasn't, and then got a little niggle. And then they came to blows. If that is the case, and he did ask to come off at half time, then that's a big mistake. But I don't actually think it is that. I don't think it is that.
I can't believe it's that. Like, if Paqueta would only want to come off if he's injured, and there's no way they're going to keep him on if he's injured.
No,
you know.
But his behaviour was quite bad. The
way I thought it was bad. I saw it.
I liked it though, because it's nice to see players wanting to play.
Yeah.
You just hope it doesn't go on from there. But I think, I think it was the complete right move to take him off. But yeah,
I think it's a bit much. I think that situation is a bit much for it to come to blows. Surely.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's released on one of these fan things today. I've googled it in the news, and there is nothing on there. So I think it is. I think it is probably a pro Moyes out advocate that's probably come to this, because it sounds great that Paqueta wanted to come off and Moyes made him play, and that's why he was angry. But I don't think it was. It looked like he did not want to come off at all.
That's what I thought.
Which I don't know what he's so mad about, like, unless he's got a goal bonus or something that he wanted. But like, if we were 3-0 up when he come off, I think when we had 2-0. So, what do you really like? Just keep him for Sunday. But it's nice to see he did want to play. But hopefully it's all sorted. But I think we'll be back next week, won't we? And then we got a couple of weeks off where we're probably, I think, because we've got the international break, and then we'll probably dig into some nostalgia.
Yeah, it'd be good
on them weeks. And maybe we'll try and even get a guest on.
See you can rustle up, Samuel.
See if we can rustle up. Maybe we'll put it on the Instagram to see if who people would like to see, and we'll see if we can get a guest. We get one of the 06 boys. That would be like Ginge or Colton or Airwood, or it'd be quite good to get one of them on.
It'd be great. Nice little treat, that.
All right, mate. We'll have a lovely week. It was a good week for us. Hopefully it can finish good week.
You too, mate. You have a good one.
Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.
See you later, mate.